Nobody expected the Las Vegas Raiders to come out of minicamp looking like this. Not just sharper, not just faster, but different. Something has shifted. What Pete Carroll and John Spytek are building isn't just another rebuild, it's a statement. And the clearest sign? Veterans are showing up without being asked. Leaders are setting the tone before pads even go on. This isn't about hype, it's about attitude. And right now, the Raiders are acting like a team that's sick of being forgotten. It's not just the coaching staff that's changed. The entire energy around this roster feels like a countdown to something bigger. You can see it in the way Kolton Miller carries himself. You can hear it when guys like Jeremy Chinn or Dante Thornton Jr. talk about accountability. Players are moving with urgency. Every drill matters. Every rep is being watched. And while some teams treat June like a warm-up, this Raiders group is already playing for something, because they know how tight the margins are in the AFC. One breakout, one collapse. That's the difference between January football and another reset. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. For all the attention on the new leadership, the real story might be who's actually winning under this regime. Because if you look closely, the Raiders' offense isn't just stable, it's suddenly dangerous. And the biggest surprises? They're not even the stars you'd expect. Let's talk about the offensive weapons who just turned minicamp upside down. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Raiders and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 300 likes on this video. Trey Tucker didn't just show up, he exploded. After months of speculation about his role under a new regime, the third-year wideout put all the questions to bed. He didn't just survive a crowded receiver room, he took it over. Reports from inside minicamp say Tucker was not only the fastest man on the field, but also the most polished. And with Jack Besh sliding and rookies still adjusting, Tucker now looks like the locked-in WR2 behind Jacoby Myers. What makes it more impressive? The Raiders drafted 3 new wideouts this year, and it didn't faze him one bit. Dante Thornton Jr., a rookie out of Florida State, was supposed to need time. Instead, he's already working with the ones. His length, speed, and ability to stretch the field have forced the staff to take notice. One source described him as unguardable on the outside during red zone work. With Myers holding down the slot and Tucker drawing safety help, Thornton's presence has made this offense suddenly unpredictable. And while he came into camp buried on the depth chart, he may now be leading the pack of first-year receivers. But the biggest shock might be Ashton Jeanty. The rookie running back wasn't just rotating in, he was everywhere, running inside, catching passes out wide, even returning kicks. The word inside the building is clear. This team wants the ball in Jeanty's hands as much as possible. Chip Kelly has already hinted at multiple running back sets, and Jeanty looks like the focal point. But with all this momentum building on offense, there's one question left that could change everything. Who's really in control of this machine, and how safe is that quarterback room? Geno Smith might have the title, but the quarterback room in Las Vegas is far from settled. The moment training camp opened, the whispers started. Not about Geno's talent, but about the heat behind him. Aiden O'Connell, entering his second year, isn't playing like a backup. He's playing like a quarterback who knows this regime didn't draft him, and he's determined to earn their trust anyway. Multiple insiders say O'Connell looked sharper, quicker with his reads, and more decisive than he did last season. And with Pete Carroll emphasizing tempo and precision, that edge could matter. But the real wild card is rookie Cam Miller. Drafted in the 6th round out of North Dakota State, Miller wasn't expected to make noise this early, but he's doing more than holding a clipboard. He's already pushing AOC in drills, showing poise under pressure, and flashing mobility that neither Geno nor O'Connell bring. One coach reportedly said, "He's raw, but there's something there we can work with." That's not just praise, that's a hint at long-term plans. Geno might be the bridge, but this staff is already scouting what's on the other side. The pressure is real, and it's not just about who starts. Week 1. If Miller keeps climbing and O'Connell holds firm, the Raiders could enter preseason with 3 quarterbacks who all believe they should be on the field. That's not a battle, that's a storm. And the ripple effects won't stop at quarterback, because just as the offense heats up, the defense has quietly started its own takeover, with names nobody had circled just weeks ago. Jeremy Chinn didn't need a transition period. He showed up and instantly became the heartbeat of the defense. Officially listed as a safety, Chinn lined up all over the field during minicamp, including in the box and even shadowing tight ends. What shocked observers wasn't just his versatility, but how vocal and locked in he looked from the first snap. With Robert Spillane gone, the Raiders needed a new tone setter on defense. Chin didn't ask for that job, he just took it. Eric Stokes is another name forcing the conversation. After signing a one-year deal, Stokes is treating every practice like a final audition, and right now, he's winning. Coaches have consistently paired him with rookie Darian Porter, who's already earning reps with the first team. Porter, a third-round pick out of Iowa State, has made an early impression with his speed, instincts, and coachability. Sources close to the team say he's often the last man off the field. That's not just hunger, that's someone trying to leapfrog the depth chart. And with Christian Wilkins sidelined, another unexpected name is rising. Leki Fotu, a second-year defensive tackle, took over nose tackle reps and never looked back. His size alone makes him hard to ignore, but it's the consistency that's turning heads. Paired with veterans like Adam Butler and Tyree Wilson, Fotu could quietly secure a major role by the time preseason kicks off. The defense is hungry, fast, and suddenly deep. But what happens when the guy they paid the most money to on defense hasn't been seen in uniform for months? The answer might be a lot more serious than fans realize. Christian Wilkins hasn't practiced once this offseason, and that's not just a precaution. Behind closed doors, there's growing concern about his recovery from a Jones fracture in his left foot. The injury dates back to October, and while the initial expectation was a standard rehab timeline, Wilkins is now 9 months in and still not cleared. Doctors familiar with this kind of fracture say it typically takes 3 to 4 months for NFL players. That timeline has already doubled, and the fact that Wilkins briefly came out of the boot only to be put back in? That raised even more eyebrows. Zamir White came into the offseason hoping to finally carve out a defined role. Instead, his grip on a roster spot is slipping fast. The Raiders' backfield is already crowded with Ashton Genty, Raheem Mostert, and Sincere McCormick taking meaningful reps. But what's hurting White the most isn't the competition, it's his lack of versatility. He's struggled in the passing game, shown inconsistency in blitz pickups, and continues to fumble in key moments. Add to that the fact that he offers minimal special teams value, and it's easy to see why Dylan Laube, return experience, is pushing hard for that final spot. This isn't the same Raiders team you remember. The effort is different, the tone is sharper. And for the first time in years, it feels like everyone, from rookies to captains, is being held to the same standard. That shift is coming straight from Pete Carroll and John Spytek. No favoritism, no shortcuts, just competition, accountability, and hunger. Even the veterans who deserve new contracts, like Colton Miller, are still showing up and putting in work without complaint. That kind of leadership doesn't happen by accident. It happens when a team buys into something bigger than the depth chart. The energy coming out of this minicamp isn't just about who made plays. It's about what those plays say. Trey Tucker wasn't just fast, he was fearless. Jeremy Chin didn't just fly around, he took control. Cam Miller didn't just flash, he made coaches rethink the quarterback room. And the front office? They're watching it all, tracking every rep, every effort, and every hint of who belongs and who doesn't. Some guys are locking up roster spots now. Others are one quiet week away from being forgotten. So now we want to hear from you. Who do you think was the biggest winner of Raiders minicamp? Was it Trey Tucker, Jeremy Chin, and which player do you believe is in the most danger of being cut? Drop your answers in the comments. Be bold, be honest. And if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because this season is only getting started, and if what we just saw is any clue, things are about to get wild in Las Vegas.